So what we're going to do today is we are going to make our color diary for our flowers that we will be painting for these next 4 weeks. And really two main benefits of doing this is number one, if you have never mixed oil paints, this will give you really good practice at doing this, mixing the paints in preparation for painting. And then also it's going to give you this really wonderful diary of paint colors that when you're painting your flowers, you're going to be able to refer to it. You'll be able to look at your flower, identify a particular color that you would like to be able to mix, go to your diary and find that within your diary, and then you'll know what you mix to get that color. So I'm going to show you quickly the process of this, and then you can start working on making your own color diary. So what I have is an alizarin crimson on this end, and then I have an ultramarine blue on this end. So obviously we're going to be making some purples, warms and cool purples. So warms are going to be leaning to this red side, and then your cooler purples, your bluish purples, will lean more to this ultramarine or the blue side. And then I have my white. I also have some gel down here in the corner, and our gel is to just help our paints be a little creamier and work a little bit smoother in applying them to the canvas, or applying mixtures on top of each other, help with blending. But we'll be talking a lot more about that as we go along. So what I'm going to do is I am going to make a center mix between these two colors, and it's essentially going to be a 50-50. Now, there is no science to this. There's no complete accuracy to this. You know, the paint colors, you will find that some of them are much stronger, have more what we call chroma or vibrancy than other ones. So some of them are a little bossy, and they tend to kind of take over the other color that you're mixing it with. So, but for the purposes of making our color diary, we are going to try and do just a 50-50, a 50% of our alizarin crimson and a 50% of our ultramarine blue. So I'm going to take my palette knife, and I'm going to take some of this ultramarine blue and put it here in the center. Kind of clean this off with a paper towel. Try and keep our paint mixtures as clean as we possibly can. And then I'm going to reach over here with the ultramarine blue. And like I said, it's hard to determine is this actually 50-50, but you know, we'll do our best to match up the amount. And then I'll put them together and I'm going to mix them. So briefly, I want to talk to you just a little bit about mixing our paints with our palette knife. We want to scrape it and bring it down both on the back of the palette knife and on the front, so that we have a good mixture. We don't want mixtures to be streaky. We want these colors to be mixed well together. So then I'm going to take, again, the alizarin crimson right here. Maybe not quite as much. And to be a 70% and 30%. 70% of our alizarin crimson and about 30% of our ultramarine blue. So I'm just going to take a little bit of this here, a little less. And then mix them together. I think I'm going to put a little bit more alizarin crimson on my palette. And I'm going to put a little bit more in this mix here because I really want a red violet, and to me it's leaning a little bit to the blue, which tells me that that blue is a little stronger than my alizarin crimson. So I'm going to get some more of this because I really want more of a red purple. Okay. And then we are going to make a pile over here, and I'm going to have the ultramarine blue. Again, I'll need to get some more ultramarine blue over here, and about 30% of my alizarin crimson. So you can kind of see how this goes. There's going to be, you want more of this color over here, more of your color on the left over here, and then try and do a 50-50 in the middle. I'm going to put some more blue up here so I have enough. So right now, as we look at it, it really looks like we've got almost 3 blacks here in the middle. So oil paint is really interesting in that it's really hard to see your mixtures until you start putting some white in it. And the white will then tell you what your color is going to be. So the next thing we're going to do is we're going to add white to all 5 of these. And so I'm going to take some of the red and put it here. And I'm going to go ahead and take some more of my red and put it right here. And this third pile does not need to be that much because what we're doing is we're making tints, and a tint of a color is when you add white. When you go up in value or lighter color and you're adding white to your mix, those are called tints. So now I'm going to take this mixture and then a little bit down here, and do the same with the other 3. Probably going to put a little bit more of this right here. And then the blue. Okay. So now I'm going to reach over here and get my white and start making my tints. Again, you want to scrape it, press it down, and just back and forth like that to get a nice, clean, even mixture. And then I'm going to put more white. Here. So that we have a lighter value. Dark, mid-tone, and light. So I'm going to continue on with the rest of our mixtures to get these tints. I need more white on this. Get some more white. You're going to find that some paints and some paint mixtures are just very chromatic and need more white. Okay. It's a nice, strong purple that we've got there. Put just a little bit more. So when I am making these tints and I am going across along this value here, I want to kind of eyeball and say to myself, are these consistently the same value? And the more you mix, the more your eye is going to be able to pick that up. You might say today, well, I can't really tell if that value is equivalent to the one next to it. But that's okay. It's just the process of learning, and you'll get there. The more you mix paints, the better you'll be able to eyeball that. I'm going to go up in this tint. So I'm looking at this and I'm thinking, well, does this look like the same value as these other two? So I think we're there at this point. Just put a little bit of that back in there, just to darken it just a little bit. Get it really at that equivalent value that I have in these piles of mixtures. Okay. I got a little bit of that blue in there, so I'm going to reach up. Okay. Then our last look at all of that gorgeous bright blue. Isn't that pretty? Just a little bit more in there, a little more white. Maybe just a little bit more. Okay. This last one. A little bit more white. So I'm looking at this. I don't really see a lot of difference between these two. There's a little bit, but I think I want to put a little bit more red. And as I said earlier, this blue is pretty powerful. It's really taken over this red. So I'm going to put some more red in this mixture and see what we get. I want to kind of scrape these down and then take this mixture. I'm just curious at what I can get if I put just a little bit more red in it. Okay. So now I'm going to put this on a piece of paper. You all will have a larger board. to put yours on, but just for a demo, I wanted to show you how I put this all together to start my color diary. And so I am going to take a little bit of this solvent-free gel right down here, put a little bit of it on my brush, and then I'm going to start with my alizarin crimson. And I'm just going to make a brush stroke, just a vertical brush stroke. I'm going to wipe off my brush, clean it off, and I will continue with the same process. A little bit more on there. Then I'm going to start doing my first row of tints. And then my third row of tints. And it's interesting how you can even see more differentiation in the mixtures the more white that you add to it. And of course you can, you know, if you wanted to on your own, you could continue to do another row, another row, another row until you get very, very light, light values. But for the purpose of getting started today, this is what we're going to do. And then as you saw on my color diary, I labeled, so I would write alizarin crimson over here, ultramarine blue here, what you all might want to do so you'll know how you mix these. If you want to put 100%, 75-30, 50-50, 30-75, if that will help you so you'll know how you got that mixture, then go ahead and do it. These are just for you all. So when we're looking at a flower, when you're getting ready to mix a color, you can take your diary, you can even hold it up to the flower and say, where is that color that I'm seeing in that flower? Where is it on the color diary, and how did I mix it? So this is a great tool, something that can be expanded. It's actually endless, the number of mixtures that you all can make. So let's get started.